Wow, man. I really wasn't all that optimistic as a Washington fan, as a Washington Commanders fan. I really wasn't all that optimistic in any play that the team was going to attempt to bring in a top notch, veteran QB or veteran free agent. I really didn't feel like we accomplished or looked the way that we needed to look in the regular season for that to be a strong reality. So what we saw earlier today was let's get these dudes mixed up. Russell Wilson is now a Denver Bronco. Um, I'm upset. I'm a little deflated, but like I said, all in all, I think it's still a lot of issues with the perception of the team, the reputation of the team. Daniel Snyder being in place is probably still a problem for a lot of players. This one just kind of sucks because it drives home the point of when Peyton Manning had a chance to move around, completely no interest whatsoever in Washington. But Denver was the team that got him. Uh, Also, with the Hackett cap being brought in, there was some thoughts that they had a strong chance to land Aaron Rodgers with Hackett coming over from Green Bay. So that was out there, and I was like, damn, I want to believe in the legacy of the team and all of that, but even though we're one of the few franchises with 3 Super Bowls, currently we just don't have that standing. We really don't. And we're just a couple of years into the shakeup in the front office. They got the Mayhew dude as a GM, I believe. The Wright cat, I think, is the president. I forget the third guy's name, and then you get into to Doug Williams and whatnot. Um, it's tough, man. It's tough because I think we've kind of made the transition away from the way when Allen was there and they were taking the shots at the big pricey free agents. All the embarrassing moves that they made throughout the years with Sanders, uh, Bruce Smith at the end of his run. Haynesworth was a debacle. So we've moved away from those types of mistakes. We did give a lot of money to Landon Collins, and some talks now are trying to restructure with him or figure a way out of that or whatever. So all in all, my thoughts on it were it's not the end of the world. You know, um, I posted on one of the or commented on one of the Instagram posts from one of the sites or one of the accounts that covered the Commanders, and it's just like it really changes nothing. The fact that we didn't land him. I know some people want to shift their focus to Deshaun Watson. I don't even understand what that situation is. I don't understand why there's no movement on his off the field issues, his legal situation. How is that just in limbo indefinitely? So I can't really get into rooting for there to be made there for a move to be made to bring in Deshaun Watson. I don't like I said, I don't know what that entails. Um, but my thinking was you got to continue to build out the rest of the team. The Ravens won bowls. They won Super Bowls with Dilfer and Flacco. You don't need a truly elite quarterback. You just need a dude who can make all the throws for the most part, and maybe you can coach the guy into not being a turnover machine, or he can be a game manager. It's a number of different ways to put it together. You just can't have uh you just at the minimum you got a guy who you can depend on to make 2 or 3 throws per game. Because Dilfer, I want to say in that Super Bowl run, I mean the big thing was the short pass to Shannon Sharp that I think Sharp took a long distance for the touchdown, but he didn't have to do a whole lot. You know, So I'm not really all that keen on this 11th pick. I'm not really in love with, with going with Willis, the kid out of Liberty, who they say has one of the might have the most talented arm. Uh, Pickett, Howe out of UNC. None of these guys really, I'm not over the moon about any of them or the prospects of any of them. Honestly, the whole Willis situation, Malik Willis, I just feel like Washington would screw that up. They try to throw him in there immediately and drown the kid. Uh, I'm not a big fan of Heineke moving forward. I feel like we know what the ceiling is with him. Can he win? Can he win 6 games? Can he guarantee you 5 games? Can he get 8 wins? Can he get 9 wins? I don't know, but his passes, throwing people into big collisions, the high passes, the sailing balls, and all that type of stuff. He had the phenomenal play against Tampa Bay, but he doesn't seem like an NFL's quarterback to me. Not a you can't put it on his shoulders. So if that's what the move is, that's what the move is. But eventually you got to get somebody out of the draft. Whatever, guys like Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott, those guys weren't first rounders. So you got to take a chance and land a guy maybe in a later round. Again, don't make some kind of reach grabbing one of these QBs and just believing that he can be something just because you're desperate. We've been there before. So I just say you got to be patient. You got to put the rest of the supporting cast out there. You got to put a solid team on the field that can win a number of different ways and just be a good football team. And if it can all line up for you, that you get you a Justin Herbert, or you get you a true difference maker at quarterback, or, you get a guy like Allen, how he had to turn around. I get it, but you just can't go out here and continue to constantly do desperate moves that really never really pay off. Again, I ain't no damn quarterback guru, but this class of guys right here, that's a tough group to sit here and see. You got an all-pro guy in a couple of years, or whatever. I really don't see it, but I just say I'm good this year. Give me one of the defensive players from Georgia. Give me the best dude available from Georgia. The linebacker still isn't solved. I saw one mock draft out there, Garrett Wilson from Ohio State. I know we need somebody opposite of Terry, but you gotta land this pick. You gotta pick a guy who can start day one. I'm tired of all of this converting somebody to something. Somebody didn't play in this system in college, but we think he can. So and so was a wide receiver, but we gonna try him at running. It's all these reaches every year. Just give me one of them Georgia dudes that had a phenomenal season and an outstanding combine. Give me one of those dudes in the first round who I can pretty much trust and believe is going to be on the field week 1, and then go from there. Like I said, if we do have to rock with Taylor Heineke again for the season, I guess that's what it is. But this Deshaun Watson situation, like I said, I don't know how you can have cases just pending month after month after month after month, and ain't nobody going to court. There's no developments. There's no movement on it. I don't know how you can bring the dude in and you don't know what the suspension is going to be. It's just too much up in the air with the guy. So I would imagine the front office, if that's what they want to pursue next, because Rodgers, I guess I saw a report out there that he'll also be staying in Green Bay, which I think that was the obvious thing. I didn't really see Rodgers leaving there. So I don't know what other options are really out there. I'm seeing people want to take Carson Wentz or try to go after Carson Wentz. What's the other name I was hearing? I mean, nothing really jumped out to me. It's only like 8 guys you want anyway. I mean, it's only like 8 or 10 guys that you really would really would love to have anyway. And like I said, I think with Russell going to Denver, that seals the deal on the quarterback situation. If they draft somebody in the first round with that pick, um, I guess we got to roll with it. But again, for me, just focus on putting a solid 53 guys out there. Try to get, try to change the situation with the injuries every year, with that being a major issue. And I guess in due time, when a quarterback is available, it'll happen. But um, it's tough being a Washington fan. I looked at some of the comments on Instagram of the different posts. A lot of people, it's the end of the world. I don't know, man. I don't overreact. It is disheartening, year after year. But as a boys fan, I just want you guys getting Watson would be tough with his. Yeah, man. I'd love to have Deshaun Watson, but we another thing with him is he's been out of the he's been away from the game from a year. I know that's not really the same with a quarterback per se. But what does that cost? What's the impact of that on his skills and his performance? And then again, you got to see what the hell the suspension is. Uh, it's just too many moving parts with that situation. And for me, Washington really hasn't been a place that's shown they can figure stuff out. So again, to bring a Malik Willis in, if we were the Baltimore Ravens, I say they can do something with that. But us, we just screw it up. So, we gotta wait. We gotta wait our turn until like that knight in shining armor is standing there, and you just happen to be able to draft him. You know, would be way back. Well, with the sexual allegations that's already plaguing or lingering around for Daniel Snyder and whatever the hell he was doing. Uh, yeah, you're right. It's kind of like bringing in Art Browse almost as your coaching staff. Um, I'm just cool, just sitting back. Hey, like I said, they took a good crack at Russell Wilson. For Wilson, I mean, what can you say when a guy is willing to go to the division with Herbert and Mahomes and play 4 games a year against those two, and you're getting on the other side of your career? You know, that says a lot right there that he was willing to do whatever with the no trade clause and all of that to go be in the best division in football. And then, not even to disregard Carr over in Vegas, So that was interesting to me that was where he landed. But again, that just reinforces to me, like I said, with Washington being one of the few teams in the league with 3 or more Super Bowls. That's how far down. That's how bad the perception of the team is right now. That somebody would go rather swim with all those sharks than to say, hell, I think I take my chances in the NFC East and see if the new front office people can keep is a barrier or a buffer between the bullshit coming from the owner and Daniel Snyder. The last thing I saw before I get off of here was just that the team is still, it may be stepping up its interest in bringing aboard Cooper if he's let go and if he's released in Dallas. I don't have a lot of, I didn't read a whole bunch of reports and that Broncos gave up a ton of picks. I'd rather take a shot at getting young. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm willing to, what you don't push into the middle of the table, you can't lose it. So again, I feel like any desperate move that Washington does, I feel like it's only gonna be worse on the back end of it because we just haven't proven that we can excel when it's a bunch of moving parts. It doesn't work out. So I'm cool just keeping it simple, like you said. Uh, get somebody from the draft. If the dude has to sit 6 games, if he got to sit 8 games, and you bring him along slowly, I'm cool with that. If it's Pickett, if it's Howe, if it's Willis, that's kind of my third option is Willis. But the only thing with Willis, I guess the upside I see in him, if it's a dude that can come in and be mobile and use his legs until he figures out stuff, uh, with reading defenses and all of that type stuff and running a pro scheme and all of that. I do like a guy who can run around and make some plays, but I'm just tired of that kind of I just look at Justin Herbert and I'm like, damn, it'd be nice to have that right there. And I know Allen makes plays with his legs. So like I said, man, it's tough being a fan in Washington right now. It's gonna continue to be tough. But again, if the focus is just on building a 53-man team that can do all the fundamentals and the basics, maybe at some point in time the right quarterback situation lines up for you. But to sit here and trade away a bunch of draft capital all the time, uh, it's not going to work that way. So I know before the Bengals turned it around, I pointed to this before being here in Ohio. One of the high points for the Bengals was that I know for several years it was high, whether it was 36 or 38 players, all of them were drafted. And I'm just saying, I think the core of being a successful franchise is always that diamond in the rough. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Exactly, Sean. It's always some player out there. He may not be great, but maybe he can manage the team for 5 years, or 3 to 5 years. And you can, like I said, if the rest of the squad is great, it can still be some wins in there. But uh, that's it, man. I just wanted. I say this, I don't know if this is a silver lining whatsoever, but at least they got the damn patch, that little emblem on the jerseys with the years of the Super Bowl. At least they corrected that. They had them years all messed up when they first rolled the uniforms out. But now I saw a couple of weeks ago they did uh, look at it the correct way. Like the '91 team that won the championship on the patches said '92. That just small thing, but it bothered me. But they went back and corrected it. So at least it is some improvement in how we function as a pro franchise. I can't say nothing about Snyder getting out of there. They keep doing these damn investigations, but it's not enough to really force the guy out. What is does he have something? I don't know. We just stuck with the dude until we're not. But I do think he continues to be an issue with us trying to bring in free agents, the right free agents, elite free agents. But again, maybe this will be what year? This will be the third or the second draft with the new front office. Second place to my boys next year. Well, how are you with losing Armani Cooper? You okay with that? I would like to think we could get second, but we just got too many holes. I couldn't say that until I see the draft. We got to get some. We got to get a second wide receiver. We need to have more options at tight end. Shore up the offensive line always, linebacker, and an excellent secondary guy. So I don't know. We got some holes. I need to see what they do before I'm willing to say we can get to the second spot in the. And it's it's almost time for Dallas to start. Y'all got to do something with Zeke. I mean, you got to start over at running back to a degree. I don't know. The NFC East. It's a different team every year. I'm good with losing Coop. He don't show up on the road. I agree. I'm gonna cover our salary. Yeah, you're right. You mentioned that a few weeks ago, Sean, restructuring, but we're not going to be able to retain everyone. Coop, yeah, Coop. Coop is just kind of laid back. I don't know, man. I like Cooper, but I get it. I get it. Anyway, that's all I was saying, man. I just it's frustrating. When you have a team that's not popping and you got lingering issues like a Daniel Snyder and a distraction And then you just have, like I said, listening to the comments of the fan base on Instagram, everything that happens with this group is the end of the world. And people overreact to stuff and blow stuff out of proportion, but people are heavily invested in this stuff. You got people, you got some fans out here who've been watching this malaise for like 30 years now, 35 years. So I get it, and you see the teams with the young head coaches, with the new schemes and the new ideas and that the confidence and you know all of the shiny impressive stuff. I get it. And we got Ron, and we kind of don't know if Rivera, another so-so year, and they could be starting over at head coach. So I get it, but I think my enthusiasm towards next season is really gonna. I'll really readjust once I see what happens in the draft. If they get a solid 3 to 5 picks, and we hear some of the right names get called, I'm gonna be on 100 for next year. Again, none of these quarterbacks set the world on fire to me, but let's see some of the pro days happen. Let's see how things shuffle. Do teams start trying to move up or move back or whatever? What kind of excitement is out there? I don't know. So Russ, it would have been nice. The one big thing about Russ was his leadership and the fact that he was a proven winner, Super Bowl winner, and all of that. But I just felt like, talk about the hashtag take command. You got a dude in Russ who sometimes it look a little fake. Some of the sometimes when Russ is talking to the team and the Jordan Love for a fourth. What's up, Corey? I'm actually calling you. I'm gonna reach out to you, man. Maybe this weekend, or definitely as they start messing around with the draft. Let's chop it up and let's talk. But let me jump off here, man. Like I said, I just finished that thought off. Russ and his leadership ability, his leadership skills, it would have been so awesome. I think that would have offset all of the BS that trickles down from the ownership situation. You got a guy like Russ on the team, that in my opinion, that would have allowed a lot of other stuff to fall in place. But we can't have nice stuff in DC, so it is what it is. All right, Corey, man, let me get on off of here. Thanks y'all for rocking with me for a few. Like I said, I ain't gonna get on here and do the fussing and the cussing and the over the top stuff. It's the end of the world. I think this group of executives that we have, Wright, Mayhew, and the other guy, I think I'm still pretty optimistic on them and willing to give them a shot to see how they solve this very troubling, lingering issue at quarterback. I'm out. Peace.